There are 3 astronauts right now growing rice in a box the size of a microwave, 400 kilometers above your head.
Wait, a microwave? Like an actual kitchen microwave?
That's the comparison Xinhua used. Microwave-sized module, living crops in orbit.
That's insane. Okay, I need a second. That's actually insane.
And here's the thing, this isn't a stunt. This is serious long-haul space biology, and it's been building for over 2 decades.
Okay, so let's back up. Who are we actually talking about here?
The Shenzhou-23 crew, 3 astronauts, Zhu Yangzhu, Zhang Zhiyuan, and Li Jiaying, also known as Lai Kai-yin. They docked with China's Tiangong space station on May 25, 2026, launching out of the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center.
And they're up there right now, like as we record this.
400 kilometers up, right now.
400 kilometers. And they're farming.
They're farming. The experiment is designed to run 2 full seed-to-seed growth cycles. That means they're not just sprouting seedlings. They want the rice to grow, produce seeds, and then grow again. From scratch.
Hold on. Seed to seed. So they want it to reproduce in space.
That's the whole point.
That feels like a very big deal, and we're just casually saying it.
It's a big deal. According to Xinhua, the experiment's core purpose is exploring the genetic stability and regenerative capacity of rice in a microgravity environment. The question is, does rice stay rice? Does it keep its traits? Does it keep working?
Okay, but why? Why rice specifically?
Great question. And this is where it gets clever. They chose dwarf rice. And the reason is, it's self-pollinating.
Oh, that's smart.
In microgravity, pollination is a nightmare. There's no wind. There's no gravity pulling pollen down. So if you're relying on cross-pollination, you're done. Dwarf rice handles it internally.
It just pollinates itself. No drama.
No drama. No floating pollen disaster.
I genuinely didn't know that was even a consideration. Like I never thought about how flowers would pollinate in space.
Most people haven't. And it's one of those problems that sounds small until you realize it could sink the entire mission.
So they picked the one rice that doesn't need help. That's not just science. That's good engineering thinking.
And the seeds have already germinated, by the way. According to Xinhua, seedlings are actively developing right now on board.
Stop. They're already growing?
Already growing. The experiment's underway.
Okay, so here's what I want to know. How do you even water plants in space? Like, doesn't water just float everywhere?
Yes. And they solved it. Special planting devices and water delivery systems are used specifically to stop seeds from floating away or getting oversaturated. Because in microgravity, water doesn't drain. It just clings in clumps.
So you could basically drown your space rice by accident.
You could absolutely drown your space rice.
Okay. That's a sentence I didn't expect to say today.
Welcome to the Tech Pod.
Okay, but here's the part I keep coming back to. A microwave. All of this, the planting devices, the water systems, the seedlings, the multi-cycle growth experiment, inside a box the size of a microwave.
That's the constraint of working on a space station. You don't get a greenhouse, you get a microwave.
That's either inspiring or deeply stressful, and I can't decide which.
Hang on. I want to push back on something actually, because my first reaction to this story was, is this just a symbolic thing? Like, look, we grew rice in space, very poetic, China loves rice culturally, great PR, but then I read the actual research behind it.
And?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. This is not symbolic. The research team is from the Center for Excellence in Molecular Plant Sciences at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, led by a researcher named Zheng Huaiqiong, and their space biology work goes back to 2002.
2002.
They started with cell fusion experiments during the Shenzhou-23 mission. That was a 7-day flight.
And now they've got a multi-cycle crop experiment running on a permanent station. That's not a PR stunt. That's a research program.
That's a generational research program.
Okay, so this is basically, if you heard our episodes this week on long-term science bets, this is the agricultural version of that. Decades of incremental work building towards something huge.
And here's the thing that I think people are underselling. The comparison built into this experiment. They're not just growing rice from earth seeds. They're growing 2 groups side by side.
Wait, 2 groups?
Group 1, seeds from earth. Group 2, seeds harvested from rice that was already grown in orbit during the Shenzhou-23 mission back in 2022.
No, so they've got spaceborne rice seeds.
2nd generation space rice, and they want to see how it compares to the Earth baseline.
That's okay. That changes the whole story. It's not just can we grow rice in space, it's does space change rice permanently?
Does microgravity alter the genetics? Does it affect the yield, the structure, the viability? Those are the real questions.
And the answer could matter enormously for long-duration missions.
Mars-level missions. If you're sending people to Mars, you can't pack enough food for the whole trip. You need to grow it. You need to know that crops will stay genetically stable across generations in low gravity.
So this tiny microwave box of rice is actually a proof of concept for feeding people on Mars.
That's not an overstatement. That's literally what the research is pointed at.
I feel like that should be the headline everywhere, and instead it's buried.
It's always buried. That's why we're here.
Okay, so what do we watch next? What's the actual milestone coming up?
The key moment is whether the rice completes that first full seed-to-seed cycle. If it does, if you get viable seeds from plants that grew entirely in microgravity, that's the proof point. Then cycle 2 tells you if it's repeatable.
And what does failure look like?
Seeds don't form, or the 2nd generation shows genetic instability. Growth patterns collapse. That would mean we're further from space agriculture than we hoped.
But the seedlings are already growing, so they're off to a good start.
So far, so good. 400 kilometers up, in a microwave, rice is doing its thing.
I love that sentence so much. Okay, look, if this is the first time you've heard the Tech Pod, this is what we do every day. Real science, real stakes, no fluff. Hit subscribe wherever you're listening. New episodes drop daily.
And if you're eating rice tonight, maybe just take a moment.
Pour one out for the space seedlings.
For the space seedlings, we'll see you tomorrow.